Hello everyone, welcome to Tea and Banter with me, Mary Elizabeth, and today is BB&B, book Buddy Banter. I always forget if it's banter, book banter, but anyway.
Yeah.
So the book we had for the month was
A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
So we will be reviewing this book if you haven't been with us previously, and then at the end Felicia will open her next book for those of you who are just joining us. What she got from Christmas for me was 12 books to do a book buddy once a month, and each month she unwraps a book, and then that will be the book we're going to read for the following month. So I actually don't remember what month each book was, so it's kind of a surprise for me too. So but before we get started on book banter, I wanted to talk about tea parties, because we like to have tea parties, and we always make sure we have at least one a month. Now, everybody loves a good English tea party. No doubt about it. I love tomato finger sandwiches, cucumber finger sandwiches. A lot of people like smoked salmon. I cannot have salmon. I'm allergic. But,
Right.
And the fancy little pedophores and things like that. And nothing beats that. I'm not discounting that at all with the fancy tablecloth. It's just perfection. However, we also like to do tea parties, more often than once a month. Sometimes we do them weekly. One, because I adore tea. I drink tea all day long. But so the reason why I'm talking about this, and I will put a picture at the end, is we like to do different things to our tea party. Sometimes it's just simple. Sometimes it's breakfast geared, and we'll do little egg cups and some banana breads and things, some scones, and that's it. Other times we do the full English style tea with tablecloths and cucumber sandwiches and things like that. So today is kind of a lazy day, and so what we did was little mini sliders, chicken salad, and then just some cookies. I think they're Petridge Farms, and we did a few different cookies at the top, and I'll put a picture at the end. And there's no fancy tablecloth or things like that, but we do have our tea, and sometimes we do fancy mugs, sometimes we don't. I'm actually doing my little sheep for my yarn, because I love to crochet too. So
I got my Emma. Is it Emma Clearwater?
It's Emma Bridgewater,
sorry.
from England, and her store is online. Also, it's Stoke-on-Kent, I believe it is. Love her collection. And I have a few of her cups, and sometimes we'll do that, and sometimes we'll do the fancy little teacups. So the point of that is, however you enjoy having tea or coffee, there's really no right or wrong to have a tea party or have a little relaxing time. So do what makes you happy is basically the bottom line. And use what you have. So with that little soapbox off, let's talk about the book. So to start with, I did read the book. Because there was some health concerns, I didn't concentrate as well as I should. Everything's fine, but so a lot of what I'm going to talk about is just basically the style of writing, my initial thoughts, and Felicia will definitely be able to give you probably more detail than I can this month, and that's okay. That's life. Sometimes things happen and you don't get to do everything you would like to do, but that's okay. That's real life, and I think it's important to show that too. So so I did not take any notes, which is very unusual for me. I often like to take notes, and sometimes I will even put a tab in my book if there's like a certain quote or a thing like that I want to share or want to remember or refer back to, but that didn't happen this month. So without further ado, I'm going to let you start. Did you write? Did you take notes?
I didn't take notes. I
Okay.
did not take notes. I needed to take notes, but I did not take notes. But oh my God, this book, 5 stars.
Okay.
Absolutely 5 stars. I loved the writing style. I couldn't put it down. I loved how she did this it started off as her school project.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to the point where she just wanted to solve it. She didn't believe who was suspected of killing this girl did it. And I just love the way it went about, the way she took notes, the way she interviewed people. She even had her own big board, and she had like the string with the, like, it was like this whole murder, gritty suspense. Like, I love books like that give you chills.
I was actually jealous because I wished I had done something like that when I was younger to be able to. It just never was a thought to do it as a school project or anything like that, or even maybe doing it on an Agatha Christie book or something like that when I was younger. That would have been really cool, but I didn't have the foresight, I guess, for that. And I did love that piece of it.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, not like trying to give spoilers, but there was like mentions of drugs, and and drug use, and it's not my cup of tea. But as you read, it starts to fit in certain areas that it makes sense
as to why it was
there. Why it was there. But I mean, it's not personally something I enjoy reading because I don't get the thrill of it or the concept of why people do it. But other than that, it's a 5-star book. And again, not to give spoilers, there is a sequel that now I really need to get. So
now, is the sequel a continuation? I wonder.
It's
or
a
if it's a whole new
continuation
mystery
of Pippa and Ravi.
Yes, but is it a continuation? It can't be a continuation of that story. It's got to be a new story, I would think. Correct?
You had to ask me. I think it gives me a little something here.
So what does that say?
For the sequel, it says this good girl is about to find more bad secrets, and this time everyone is listening.
Okay, so it's probably a different story.
It might be a different story. Or maybe it is a continuation. I don't know.
Okay.
But this was so good that I need to find that.
Okay. The one thing that I do want to talk about is the victim. And most generally in a lot of books, the victim is not well liked. So it wasn't a complete surprise to me.
No.
That in the book, she wasn't, I wouldn't call her a likable character.
No, she was horrible.
Yeah. So, and I do believe this, a true event
Did
happen that I'm not as knowledgeable about in terms of exactly what happened and transpired. So
or who she
I would
really
not
was,
be
but
an expert on that.
no. I didn't even realize you happened to point out. I didn't realize it was a true story.
Yes.
The way I read it, I took it as the character was showing you how she got her research. And you
Correct.
pointed out to me, no. That's the author letting you know, so this was a true story.
There was an
based on
event,
events.
yes, and she kind of cited some of the articles or information, which you can then look up yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there are some good characters in there that I love. I do love the concept of a high schooler kind of solving the case and things like that. So it was a really good book. I'm not going to deny that.
And
I know there's
lots of
another
tears.
one. I believe actually there might be a third one, but I'm not 100%
Really?
sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Because again, as I was buying these, it was just books that I either heard from other YouTubers or they were books that caught my eye that
See, the one thing you'll learn very quickly, I'm very easy to buy for. Just buy me books. I love books.
Yep.
Love books. They're my thing.
Yeah.
I'm very easy. I'm not just get me a book. Get me books. And I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And there were some really likable characters.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot.
Some disappointing characters, obviously.
Yes.
Um,
there was a character I liked that ended up being disappointing.
But she was really brave. I feel like she was a really brave girl to go and do what she did.
And Ravi, they're my favorite.
Yes. Ravi was great too. Yeah.
Like she didn't care of the consequence, didn't care what happened to her. She was going to solve this.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. I couldn't put it down.
Did you find any favorite quotes when you were reading this? I did not. But
I did, but you
didn't mark.
My problem is I find it's easier to read at work, like later, because it gets quieter.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard because I still get calls. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing I have to say, with this book,
and I'm afraid to put like Post-its in because with my luck, because if I go to pull it off, I will rip the book. So it's kind of hard to navigate how I can.
Oh, I use tabs all the time, and I haven't had a problem.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, I don't rip. I take it off gently. But I have to say, I'm trying to think, because this would be considered a cold case.
I would
because it happened years prior from what was it, 5 years?
Yes, but if the book is accurate, I'm not sure about the true case itself.
It's a closed case for her final project.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how many closed case books
there are
that I've that I have read personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's that many. And I'm not going to say I'm not a fan, but it's certainly not a favorite trope to have it be a cold case kind of investigation.
Well, I shouldn't say it's a favorite, but it's an intrigue because you want to solve it. You want answers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, even till this day, I think people still want answers of Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Which would be considered part of this element, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, again, I think just personal reading preference.
Oh, no.
It might not be my number one. Not that I wouldn't read, not that there are not great books out of that, but I just don't know if it would be my first choice.
Yeah.
And that's just me. That doesn't mean
other people,
love that kind of, reading style. That might be their first choice to go to, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's sort of like the book that we read previously.
Which one?
Geez, you would ask me. I have to go back. The Poppy Harmon Investigates. It's sort of like the actor-actress kind of trope. It's not that it's horrible or that. It's just not my first preference, but it's a lot of people's.
Yeah.
So I think that this kind of fits in that same kind of category. It's not my number one run to, but it is good.
It is very good.
It is good, and I definitely would recommend it.
Without any doubt.
She has a great writing style.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's definitely a favorite.
It's a favorite of yours.
Yes.
Okay, so you're giving it 5 stars.
I am.
I would give it a 3.54.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And I would recommend people reading it.
Because I even love that they put a map in. So I would always refer back to the map and try to be like, okay.
Yeah, where is the map? Maybe that would be a nice thing to show.
It's in there somewhere. But I thought it was really cool that they put in a map. For me, that
I think that was kind of showing how she's going about things, right?
Well, I think it was to show like approximate time on where she was before she went missing.
Yeah, and the other thing that was in here is sort of like all the interviews, and so it's kind of like transcript logs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that or not, but sort of her interviews. But where's the map?
Might be further in the beginning.
Huh.
It's in there. I know it's in there.
There it is. Okay.
There we go. Which is really cool.
Yeah, so there is a nice map to refer back to.
I referred back a lot.
Yeah, to try to figure it out ourselves as to where everyone was, what everyone was doing, how close proximity things were. So, yeah. So I would say A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I would say go out and buy it.
Yeah, it's a must read.
It's a good read. It's
Get
a
the
joy.
second one too, because you'll like it.
And the second one is Good Girl, Bad Blood.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can see that, but there you go.
I gotta hunt that one down.
So it is time for. I'm actually gonna grab a blueberry cookie. Sorry. It is time for your unwrap. And what are your clues?
Young girl,
Okay,
a mystery
good.
scientist without Sherlock. So
Without Sherlock?
without Sherlock.
No.
Oh, watch out, Sherlock.
Watch out, Sherlock.
So
So do you wait before you guess? Do you guys have any guesses of what the book is? I know what the book is, but by those clues, I'm excited.
it's either the third Enola Holmes, or it's the second of what is it called? Sherlock's daughter, Joanna Sherlock.
Oh,
Which I have the first one.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's a good.
Have I read the first one of those?
Oh, if you have, you should.
Why don't you open it?
That and the Cthulhu one you should read too, because that's good.
Why don't you open it and see if you're right?
See, I read a lot. If I can see, this is what my dad does. Look at this. But I'm supposed to get into this. Look at this.
There's no duct tape. She's good.
I was wrong on both counts.
I knew you were.
Well, of course you know. Oh, what happened? Oh no. I fixed it. Okay. Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie by Alan Bradley.
A Flavia Deluce
Mystery. Ooh.
Ooh, show them. And then read the little blurb in the back. Let's see what it's about.
If ever there was a sleuth who's bold, brilliant, and yes, adorable, it's what is it?
Flavia.
Flavia Deluce,
Mm-hmm.
the precocious 11-year-old at the center of this scrumptious first novel. It is the summer of 1950, and at the once grand mansion of Buckshaw, young Flavia Deluce, an aspiring chemist with a passion for poison, is intrigued by a series of inexplicable events. A dead bird is found on the doorstep, a postage stamp bizarrely pinned to its back. Then, hours later, Flavia finds a man lying in the cucumber patch and watches him as he takes his dying breath. Whoa.
Let me see. And so this is a long series. This has a lot of books.
How many?
Oh, quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Let's see. Let's see what the first couple of sentences are. It was as black in the closet as old blood. They had shoved me in and locked the door. Now that is a catcher and makes me want to read it.
Yeah.
But there are, it doesn't say in here, but there are quite a few. So this one is a long-standing series.
Okay.
So when we read this, we really need to be brutally honest, because it would be another investment in a series. And the only reason why I say that is because I have quite a bit of series that I'm behind in and that I love and want to continue. However, I had been wanting to delve into this mystery series as well. So we really need to, really make a decision about that. So with that said, do you have any final thoughts or before we say goodbye?
Just run out and get this book. You will enjoy it. It's such a great book.
And please leave comments below if you have read the book, and your thoughts, as well as if you're interested in reading it. Let us know. Also, if you would like to read The Sweetness at the Bottom, what is it, of the bottom of the pie, you're welcome to join us and give us your thoughts and comments as we meet again in the end of May.
Yep.
And till then, I hope you are all safe and I hope you are all loved. Bye.
Bye.